Hi students, welcome to second year commerce class. In our previous class, we have learnt about importance of controlling. We have discussed that controlling improves in efficiency, it helps the employees to reach the target, and it enables discipline among the employees, subordinates. So overall it will help you to achieve the organization's goal. But what exactly controlling is? Almost for in 3-4 classes I have given you the definition. Again I am repeating. Controlling is the process of ensuring that actual activities conform to planned activities. Actual activities conform to planned activities. Actual activities means what we are doing. Planned means what we were planned. Okay. So, for example, as a bank manager, you had planned to receive a deposit of 1 lakh rupees on a particular day. That was your planned activity. But actually, what you are doing is you are granting loan to some customers of 50,000. So, here is the difference. You have planned something and you are doing something. So, in such a case, we may not achieve the goals, we may not achieve the success. So, every employee of the organization has to work according to the planned activities. He has to implement the plans. He has to work according to the strategy set by the top management. So, controlling is the one of the important function of management, where by different methods it enables the managers to look after the activities taken by various employees of the organization, and this controlling function will see that all the employees are working according to the planning done by the top management. In the process of controlling, when you set rules, when you fix the target, as I told you that controlling may help you to utilize the resources to the maximum level. It helps you to go for optimum utilization of resources. It improves the efficiency. It gives employee some satisfaction because his performance is measured. Some advantages are there with controlling. That is the reason various multinational companies and joint stock companies are spending thousands of crores on this management. They are applying scientific management techniques that you will learn in your graduation or post graduation. What is scientific management? We are taking in experts in the department of management. So, in order to achieve the highest result. So, in the process of controlling your employees, in the process of functioning of controlling, we face some problems. There are certain difficulties are there, limitations are there. When you ask your employee, your subordinate to work in a proper path, in the same direction what you have suggested and what you have planned for, in that process, in implementing the controlling function, in executing the controlling function, the management may face certain problems. They are called as limitations of controlling. What is the first limitation? First disadvantage of controlling is difficulty in setting quantitative standards. Okay, quantitative standards means the standards which you can measure in terms of numbers. Like every day you have to manufacture 50 units. Your sales target is this many units. A student has to score 930 marks, 99 marks in commerce. This is called quantitative standard. Okay, quantity means something you can measure in terms of numbers like height, weight, marks, income, okay, number of students. For example, for our marketing team of this college, we may fix a target that this year number of admissions must be more than 400. So that is the quantitative standard. Okay, but the problem is, as part of management, sometimes we cannot fix quantitative standards for certain aspects like moral of the employee, job satisfaction, honesty. For such things, you cannot fix the standard. Okay, you cannot say, that means see, these are all the qualities. How honest a employee is, how hardworking he is, what is his moral, okay, and what is the level of his job satisfaction. These are all cannot be measured in terms of numbers. So in these areas, you cannot fix the target. You cannot say that the employees work like this, his moral should be like this, his job satisfaction must be in this level. Okay, you may fix them the numbers, that per day you have to produce number of units. 100 units is target for worker A, 120 units for worker B. Like that you may fix the target. But how honestly they are working, what is their level of job satisfaction, what is their psychological or what is their approach towards the organization. In these areas, in qualitative areas, fixing the quantitative standard is very difficult. So certain things you cannot measure. Okay. Then a little control on external factors means within the organization we say they are the internal factors, like the amount of capital, the number of laborers you appoint, the machinery you install. These are all internal factors, means which you can change. But certain external factors are there which are not under your control. You cannot do anything. External factors are, they include government policies, technological changes, change in the habits of customers, taste and preference. These are all called as external factors. You cannot decide, you cannot control. For example, suddenly we have seen for the past 5 to 6 years, there is tremendous response for commerce groups. Many people, even after MPC, they are joining BCom graduation. They don't want to go to engineering side. Okay, so number of students are increasing in the field of in the commerce stream, because the students are feeling that commerce graduation will give them the early employment than the engineering graduation. So now a engineering college or a science college cannot control what is happening. It is the mindset of the students. It is the phenomena of the society. Similarly, suddenly, see, there is environmental cause. The population decides not to use plastic. So naturally, the businessmen, the manufacturers of plastic will incur heavy losses. What is slowly going on nowadays? Okay, so people are slowly gaining awareness that we are not supposed to use plastic. So we are avoiding all the disposable material to the possible extent. So quite naturally, the plastic industry will lose their demand. In the coming future, again, there may be ban on various products and they may be forced to close down. So like that, sometimes government will come with a new policy. So that government policy may have a impact on your business. So those things you cannot control, even though you have planned. For example, we have planned so many things in the last year, but what this COVID has done, government has imposed lockdown. Say now students are ready to come to colleges, college staff is ready to teach, but government is not allowing. So this is called external factor. We cannot force, we cannot demand. So according to the situation, government will take the decision. If government permits, we can take the classes. Suppose by seeing this government policy, you cannot have a offline class. Okay, even though you have planned for that every day I should invite 100 students and I have to take 5 to 6 classes, I have to conduct exams, etc., etc. We have decided. But government has not allowed. What do we do? So that is how sometimes external factors will not allow to go with our planned activities. I told you that controlling means we have to perform the actual activities according to the planned activities. But sometimes these planned activities cannot be carried out because of these factors. Okay, government may change its policy, technological changes may come, there may be change in taste and preference of the customers, so which you are not under your control. In such a case, controlling function cannot be implemented in a proper manner. That is the second difficulty we face while implementing controlling. Then third one is resistance from employees. What do you mean by resistance? some sort of opposition, some sort of non-acceptance. Many times we see when a lecturer comes into the classroom and we say that I am going to conduct the examination, 70% of the students say no sir, today no exam, we will study. Even sometimes students say that, sir, today no class, already morning we have studied, we had till this time we were writing, please today no class, we will sit idle. Or you tell something in general, we don't want to listen the subject today. That means you have got resistance to the class. You don't want to learn the formal subject. You want to something listen, that's it. Because you are strained or whatever the reason may be. So similarly, in any organization, when you want to apply the controlling techniques, like fixing the target for employees, laying down various guidelines, rules and regulations, when you want to impose very strict rules and regulations, imposing disciplinary activities, so sometimes employees will reject, will not cooperate. Resistance means a situation of non-cooperation. Like many times you see government tries to come out with a new reform. They say that in government offices we will put biometric. Immediately the employee organizations will go for a strike. They say that why you are not believing us? Why do we require biometric? It has got so many problems. Then they will force the government not to impose biometric, because when biometric is imposed, the government employees' time will be recorded. So as you know that most of the government employees do not reach the office or their place of work on time. So if this is imposed, all their loopholes will be recorded. So to avoid that, they will say that no, we don't require biometric, let us postpone. Many times it happens. So when something we try to do, the employees will not accept it. So that is the third limitation. Then fourth one is costly affair. Means in order to implement controlling system in your organization, it is not the part of ordinary job. You require lot of management expertise, you require specialists to set the targets, to lay down the rules and regulations, to supervise. You require a lot of systematic working method. You require many computers. You require MIS, which is called as Management Information System. You require expert people. For all these people you have to pay. No one will come at free of service. So controlling activity is a costly affair. That means you need to spend a lot. So these are the limitations we face. Then the last topic of this lesson is very important for 2 marks. I have written POSDCORB, post carb, POSDCORB. So it may be given for even for 5 marks also. What is POSDCORB? Very simple. I have written already. We have learnt about these things. It is nothing but elaboration of functions of management. What were the 5 functions of management? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. 5 were the functions. So here, in place of controlling, we got coordinating. These are same. Planning, organizing, staffing, directing. 4 are same. So actually we had the 5th function, controlling. So in place of controlling, we got coordinating. Anyhow you know the meaning of all these 4. Planning organizing staffing directing Already in the previous classes, I have given the definitions for those 4 functions. Now the 5th function is coordinating. What is coordinating? Creating a better understanding between the various departments is called as coordinating. So that one department will not interfere in the activities of other department. The working culture will not overlap. That means someone should not interfere. Suppose say I am here taking commerce class, some other lecturer should not come to this class. The maths lecturer should know that in room number 201 commerce class is going on. So whose responsibility it is? It is the responsibility of the management to keep inform all the employees what is happening in the organization. So when every department knows what the other department is doing, they don't interfere. This is what called as coordinating. A better understanding between various departments and various personnel of the organization, so that no one will interfere in the other activities. Everyone knows exactly their jurisdiction of work. So that will give you the great result. That is called coordinating. Then the 6th one is reporting. What is reporting? Informing your superiors about the activity going on in your department is called reporting. What your subordinates have done, what is the task you have achieved, what was the activity you have done for a particular time period, as in a particular day or as in a particular week, as in a particular month, what were the activities taken up by you, what have your subordinates have done, so what is the part of target you have achieved, so you report to your superiors. Reporting means simply communicating about your activities to your superiors. That is what called as sending reports. Many times we teachers write the teaching report. What do we write? We go down, we take a notebook and we write that in first year MEC we taught so and so, in second year MEC we taught so and so, in first year CC we taught so and so. That means whatever we have done in the classroom we write that. That is called reporting. So based on the reporting work, the top management will come to know what is exactly happening in the organization, whether the activities are going according to their plans or not. That is the report we require. Okay. Then budgeting. What do you mean by a budget? It is a statement of numbers. Budget is a statement of numbers where you fix a target. Okay. For example, you want to spend something, some amount for a particular activity. That is called budget. Say for example, you want to celebrate your birthday. So you will take a budget of 5,000. That means within 5,000 you want to do everything. You would like to buy a dress, you want to give party to your friends, everything, gifts, everything you have to spend within 5,000. Your parents say that your budget is 5,000. That is the maximum amount limit. So similarly, various organizations also will go for budgeting. It is the part of management accounting. At the higher level you will learn. So we need to have particular limit for every department. What are the various activities we are going to undertake? For that, for every activity, what is the amount we are going to spend? What amount of material we have to use? That is what called as budget. So every department should be given the budget, the statement of numbers, so that they have to perform the activity according to that target, that limit. So budgeting enables you to have control over the activities. Every employee will know the limits, to what extent he can spend the amount, what amount of material he can use, what amount of electricity he can use, how many hours he can utilize. Like that, everyone knows what quantity of material he can use, or what amount of labor units he can give input. So like that, for every department we will fix the budget. So that is the seventh function as part of POS DCORB. Very important for 2 marks. If you are lucky, may be given for 5 marks also. Write down the definitions for all these side headings. P for planning, O for organizing, S for staffing, D for directing, CO for coordinating. Total here. Don't go for C for controlling. Total CO is coordinating. You can see here. CO, coordinating. R for reporting, B for budgeting. So with this your functions of management is completed.